Hi everyone, I'm David. I hope you've been enjoying my videos so far and thanks for tuning in. A few months ago, I discovered VCV Rack, and ever since I've been having a lot of fun. I made many patches and also some recordings that you can find here on my YouTube channel. And for this video, I thought I'd put a little collection together of my favorite modules and tell you about my 10 favorite modules in VCV Rack. It's not easy to pick only 10 modules because there is such a huge variety of options available, but I'm going to try to narrow it down to only 10 modules and tell you why I like these modules and how I use them. And I'll be making a basic patch with them. And these are modules that I've been using quite a lot. So I looked back at my patches and checked which are the modules that I use the most. And even more importantly, these are modules that are the most fun to use, the ones that I enjoy the most. And let's get started. First of all, let's get rid of everything here. I like these modules too, but well, I have to be very careful with what I pick. And well, we need the audio module for outputting sound from the computer. And I am using a Mac with a integrated Intel graphics, and so it's working surprisingly well. With only 10 modules, we won't have any problems. So it's the core audio driver that is standard. And for the device, I'm using something called Soundflower, which enables me to do two things. One, I can record the sound coming from the computer. So if I'm doing a screen recording, it records the video and the sound with QuickTime. Normally, if I record a patch, I would use the VCV recorder, but for videos, my computer is really struggling, so this is the easier way to do things. And second, it also allows me to create an aggregate device and record not only the sound coming from the computer, but also the sound coming from my mouth into the microphone, and which hopefully you can hear now. And let's hope that we also have sound coming from the computer. So let me switch to screen recording now. And the first module has to be a VCO. It's at the heart of any synthesizer. And from all the options available, I'm going to pick the EvenVCO from Befaco. Why this one? Well, first of all, it has this nice octave knob, so you can change the octave very quickly. And it has 5 different outputs. And most importantly, it sounds very unique and amazing, especially this even output, which emphasizes the even harmonics. But let's listen to it. And to do that, we need a mixer module. And this will be my second module now. And from all the mixers, I really, really like the Mindmeld modules. And the MixMaster is the one that I always use in my patches. And there are 2 versions. There is one with 8 stereo tracks and the one with 16. I think we'll be fine now with the 8-track version. And what's also great about the MixMaster that it has an expander where we can set up sand effects, which we might use later. And let's connect the VCO to the mixer. But first of all, let's turn down the volume and dim this. And also I'm changing the block size here to a bit larger with more latency, which is unnoticeable, but my computer can handle it better. And let's listen to the EvenVCO. Undim, and let's hope we have sound. Oh yeah, we have to connect the mixer to the audio. And now we have sound. Yeah, let's go down a few octaves. Nice. Well, not much so far, but let's add a filter. And I really like tangents from Vult. which is a Steiner-Parker filter. It's a type of filter that you can also find in the Arturia Mini Brute, and it has an amazing sound if you patch it into the low pass through the low pass filter. So we have the output here, and let's turn up the volume a bit. Yeah, let's add some resonance. And some more drive. All right, so let's modulate this. For that we will use an LFO, and that's going to be my fourth module. And from the LFOs, I really like the LLFO, mainly because it's so tiny and you can put a lot of them into your patches and modulate everything with different speeds and with a different scale as well, because it has a built-in offset knob and a built-in scale knob. So it's very compact but very versatile, and you can also make it very slow if you want. And let's input this into the cutoff here, open the attenuverter. All right, let's open it a bit more. All right, cool. Next module. I really like all the Audible Instruments modules, so it's going to be hard to pick one from these, but I've been using the resonator quite a lot, and I'm really enjoying it. It makes very beautiful sounds, and basically what it does is that it takes in any kind of noise or clicks or bursts or unpitched sounds even, and transforms them into something else, simulating a tube or a string or any kind of resonant surface. So you can use this in many ways, but let's try to listen how it sounds if we input this sound coming from the filter and the VCO into the resonator. Well, I'm going to turn it down because you never know. And yeah, let's solo this. Increase the brightness, the damping. Oh, that's cool. Whoa. Ooh. Oh, let's modulate this. The structure is going to be crazy. Oh, I wish I had a faster LFO here, but oh. And usually I play around with this quite a lot, you know, trying to find the settings that I like, but for this video I don't want to go on here for hours and hours playing around with the different settings. But I think that's the beauty of VCV Rack, that you just get in the zone and, you know, experiment with different sounds, and sometimes you can get really cool results. Oh, I like this. Nice. And let's listen to this with the low frequency together. All right, next module. Well, there can be no list without clouds from Mutable Instruments, which is called the texture synthesizer here from Audible Instruments. It is a granular synthesizer, as you might know. So what it does, that it chops up the audio coming in into little pieces and then distributes them and layers them on top of each other, and you can make really, really nice textures with it, and ambient music, the kind of music that I usually make with VCV Rack. So let's listen to this, output into the mixer. Let's solo it. All right, let's turn up the blend knob, full wet. We don't hear anything, but if we increase the density here, and we have grains closer together, and let's try different grain sizes, larger grains, smaller grains. And this module is amazing. It's basically 4 modules in one. So it not only has this granular mode, but it has a pitch shifter, time stretcher mode, looping delay mode, and an absolutely crazy spectral madness mode. Let's listen to that. Uh-oh. Oh, that's scary. Oh, all right. Let's stick with this. Why not? Let's see what happens if well, we can't trigger it. We don't have anything to trigger it with. So yeah, let's add another module, and it's going to be another module from Mutable Instruments, the random sampler, which is based on Mutable Instruments marbles. And I really like this module. It has these 2 sections. From the T section you can get very interesting rhythms. I've been stuck in the green mode most of the time, but just recently I started experimenting with the yellow mode, where the green mode is basically like a Bernoulli gate. So randomly it chooses either T1 or T3, and you can change it with the bias knob. And then T2, what it does, that it divides this steady beat that is coming out from T2. Sorry, I meant T1 and T3. So that is coming out from T2 and multiplies it and divides it by a random number, and you can change it with the bias, and you can get really nice bursts of rhythms out of it. And then the red mode is great for like a bass drum, snare drum pattern, any kind of rhythmic stuff. So yeah, a lot of options here. And then also you can change the rate, multiply by 4 or divide it by 4, add some jitter, and then play around with the bias knob. You can get huge amounts of different rhythms out of it, and it's great again for experimental type of music making. But yeah, enough talking. Let's try to trigger the texture synthesizer. Ooh. Let's turn down the pitch. Let's see what happens then. Ooh. I like it. And then back to the texture synthesizer, the blend knob has 4 functions: the wet, dry, the spread, stereo spread. So let's increase the stereo spread. let's see if we had some feedback. Okay, and then of course reverb. Increase the input gain a bit. Cool. Okay, let's also use these rhythms to strum the resonator. And this was the resonator here. Let's see what happens if we change the volt per octave. Ooh, it's a bit fast, so let's turn down the rate. And turn down the spread here. So here you can change the pitches, so let's turn down the spread, bias towards a bit lower notes. And then with this knob you can basically pick notes from the scale. So if at 2 p.m. it picks notes from one of the selected scales here, major, minor, or pentatonic, and so on. So let's try the minor scale. Okay. Well, this is very weird, but why not? While we have chosen the Spectral Madness mode here anyway. Okay, so what we do now is that we change the output voltage range to the green mode, where it's within 2 volts, so you get notes only from 2 octaves, so maybe it's not going to be that erratic. Okay, it's a bit. It's interesting, for sure. It's not what I intended initially. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you about my 10 favorite modules and not get lost here in making a patch like this. But, well, that's the great thing about VCV, is that you start making something and then it turns into something else, and then maybe you had different intentions, but you still get a cool result out of it. Let's lock it here and change the deja vu probability a bit. All right. Okay, the audio is still working. I had a bit of a technical issue, but I think we're still running. Great. How many modules do we have so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. let's add a delay. I mean, that's probably not what I would add, but it's one of my favorite modules, so I'm going to use it for this video because it's about my 10 favorite modules, and that has to be Chrono Blob from All Right Devices, which is an amazing delay module, which is great to play with live as well, just jamming. And I've been playing around with it quite a lot lately. What can we use it for here? Well, we can sync it to the clock. Let's start with that. And let's see what happens if we go from the texture synthesizer to Chrono Blob. I don't know. Who knows? And we are now in dual delay mode. Oh. Ah, that's cool, because it's going to add delay to the glitches that we are triggering with the pulses here. Ah, all right. Let's see if we go into ping pong mode. Is it going to go left and right? Increase the wet a bit. This sounds pretty cool, actually. Maybe too high, I mean too many high frequencies, but the great thing about the mixer here is that we can adjust the low pass filter and the high pass. So that's cool. Okay, what we need is more reverb. And oh. And for that, and that's my ninth module in the list of favorites, but it's not in order. And this would be probably one of my #1 favorite modules, and it's Plateau from Valley, which is an amazing reverb module. It has so much CV control over all the parameters, and this has this incredible diffusion filter, and then modulation of the reverberated sound. And well, let's use this as a sand effect, because I don't even know what to plug into this, so we're just going to go with the mixer here and then put it full wet to dry down, size a bit smaller, decay a bit down, and what I'm going to do here, so this is our effect here. You can actually rename this. So I'm going to call this Plateau. Like if you have a lot of effects and a lot of tracks, it's useful to name your tracks so that you don't get confused what is in each of these channels. And let's see. It's nice. Let's add some reverb. I mean it's channel 4 obviously. Yeah, that's why it's great if you name your channels. So if we, for example, name this Blob, then we can see it says Blob here as well. So we don't get confused what channel we are on. So yeah. That's how it sounds. And then what you can also do is the aux returns, you can mute the tracks when you are soloing the returns. And let's just listen to this whole thing together first. Whoa. And then you can solo this. That's the reverb only. I mean, you probably want to mix the whole thing together, but just maybe to adjust the lows and the highs before and after the diffusion filter. Let's modulate something here. If we have the opportunity, why not? We have this one LFO, this little LFO here. So how about we modulate the high cut? And the great thing, this has attenuverters for everything. So okay. And then let's hear what it is with a bit of modulation. How about we modulate the modulation depth? I'm saying modulate a lot in this video. Modulate, modulate, modular, module. Very subtle, but it will add to the movement in the sound. Down a bit. Some more bass. Oh, this is scary. It's nice. Maybe turn down the clock even further. Maybe change the rate to the slow one. Chronoblob went crazy. We need more bass. let's use this sine wave. It's kind of a sub bass. Let's. I don't know if we are. Okay. But I guess it depends on your headphones as well, how much bass you hear. I hope it's not too much, I hope it's not too little. Well, it depends on your preferences, I guess. And well, we have only one more choice left, and well, the last one is always very hard, because well, you could add a ton of things here. Like, it would be really nice to have some more LFOs, or an ADSR envelope, or some, I don't know, even a sample player from Nischi, the complex simpler. I really like that module. And then there are some modules that are always in my patches, which I didn't use here, and that's a clock, because we are using the texture, we are using the random sampler as our clock, and I would probably use clocked from Impromptu Modular, or I would usually add a quantizer as well. Quantum is great from ML modules, but the random sampler has a built-in clock and a built-in quantizer, so we don't need it this time. So for the last choice, I'm going to go with something unique in VCV Rack. It's from Modular Fungi, or Fungi. It's the Lights Off module, which is collection by Omri Cohen, who has an amazing YouTube channel, and most of the things I learned in VCV Rack, like 95% of it, was from watching his tutorials, so go check it out. We are going to use this module to dim the lights a bit and enjoy our creation. And you have to, I don't know, aha, when the screen went down very quickly. So you can just dim this. And sit back and relax and listen to the sounds coming from this virtual modular synth from the patch that we just made. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, I'm very surprised, but then please, if so, please leave a comment below and let me know what are your 10 favorite modules, or what are your top 3 modules, or do you agree with my choices, or would you have chosen the same ones, or do you have modules that you can't live without, and which are the ones that you are having the most fun with in VCV Rack? And so please, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I'm gonna keep making videos and music and crazy sounds like this, and thank you very much.